Many of the popular VR devices and games have gotten cheaper in the past couple of years, which makes them a more easily justifiable purchase. Here are our top picks for VR games in 2020. In this action platformer, you must rescue the various members of your crew, which is scattered across space. The game offers 20 different main levels and 26 challenge levels, which should keep you entertained for a long time. This isn't a simple platforming title. The game features 360-degree worlds and offers several different weapons, including throwing stars, a water gun, and a hookshot. Beat Saber is a music and rhythm game with a similar setup to games like Guitar Hero, but instead of using a fake instrument, you slash your way through a song with virtual laser swords. As the music plays, Beat Saber generates different patterns of color-coded blocks on the screen that you must hit with the correct controller as they slide towards you. Will you let robots take your all-important paper stamping and document filing job? In this game, cost-cutting robots try to terminate your employment by any means necessary. You must fight your way through an office environment to save your job and your life using stealth tactics or by resorting to aggressive violence. AI and automation technologies are certainly poised to take over some real-world jobs previously filled by humans, so this game's hook is all too real. Be sure to check out the sequel Budget Cuts 2, Mission Insolvency. The life of a goat has never been easy, as you may have experienced firsthand in the one-of-a-kind Goat Simulator. Danger Goat is arguably less bizarre, but with traps, missiles, and robots standing in your way, your escape is anything but assured. Everybody's Golf VR is the series' first VR entry. Play any of the 3 included courses alongside a virtual caddy, or practice your skills on the putting green or at the driving range. The game supports the PlayStation Move controller for more dynamic golfing action. Farpoint is a showcase title for the PS4's VR capabilities, and the first game to use the PSVR AIM, a gun-shaped controller specifically designed for first-person shooters. Sony says the VR AIM is capable of tracking player movements on a 1-to-1 scale, which creates a realistic feel to the game's shooting mechanics. In Farpoint, you must survive deadly enemy encounters while traversing a dangerous alien environment in an effort to discover what happened to the rest of your research team. In Ghost Giant, you must help out a young cat and other villagers of a fictional town called Sandcourt. Players take the form of a ghost-like figure who can interact with the game's diorama-like settings to solve puzzles and complete tasks. The game's cartoon-like aesthetic and endearing character design is sure to win over players of all ages. Half-Life Alyx is the first full-fledged Half-Life game that Valve has released in a long time. The game's events take place after the original Half-Life, but before Half-Life 2. As the title suggests, you play fan-favorite character Alyx Vance. Throughout the roughly 11-hour campaign, you take on enemy Combine forces and seek to advance research on their weaknesses. Valve built this experience specifically for VR, so expect impressive physics mechanics and top-tier graphics. In I Expect You to Die, you are a spy who must escape from a series of life-threatening situations before time runs out. At your disposal are your wits, problem-solving skills, and telekinesis, so grab whatever you find in your surroundings. It just might save your life. Why limit yourself to one job when you can work several more in virtual reality? PC Mag has certainly seen its share of weird simulation games, but VR elements add a whole new level of immersion. In Job Simulator, you experience such exciting careers as a mechanic, a gourmet chef, or the most coveted position of them all, an office worker. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is the perfect multiplayer game to put your friendships to the test, forcing you to communicate and collaborate with each other to defuse a complex bomb. In this game, players are split into 2 groups, one diffuser and several experts. Diffusers can see and examine the bomb, but cannot access the manual. Experts can read the manual but cannot see the bomb. Players must exchange information, guide each other through defusal steps, and keep track of progress. Bombs have a countdown timer and will explode if you make too many mistakes along the way. Lone Echo is an immersive single-player experience in which you, as an AI entity named Jack, must help your captain unravel a dangerous mystery. The game takes place on a spaceship orbiting way out near Saturn, and is rife with photorealistic graphics, freeform movement, and tight VR-tuned controls. There's also interactive dialogue options to further enhance the experience. Minecraft exists on nearly every platform you can name, including the VR space. For the uninitiated, Minecraft is an exploration, creation, and survival game all rolled into one with a distinct low-poly aesthetic. The game adds a series of control enhancements for the VR platform, including 3D audio, a virtual living room mode, VR turning, and VR controls. Minecraft VR also supports multiplayer game modes so you can enjoy the experience with your friends. In this enchanting adventure game, you accompany a mouse named Moss, who, after accidentally awakening an ancient magic in the forest, must embark on a journey to save her uncle. Along the way, you solve puzzles, fight enemies, and explore whimsical environments. The inviting animated art direction and impressive lighting effects are sure to delight players of all ages. After a disappointing launch in 2016, many wrote off No Man's Sky. Now, after years of consistent major updates, the latest of which is a new VR mode, No Man's Sky is worth reconsidering. The basic goal of the game is to reach the center of the universe, but that sells the experience short by a long shot. Along the way, you can explore as many of the game's innumerable procedural generated planets as you want, build a home base, and battle enemy ships in space. If you combined Beat Saber and Superhot, you'd get something close to Pistol Whip. This musical combat experience doesn't require you to match a certain rhythm with your gunplay, but rather gives you the freedom to take out enemies however you see fit. Get ready for frenetic action set to a high-energy soundtrack and flashy, colorful graphics. Project Cars 2 straps you into the driver's seat in a realistic circuit racing experience. The game recreates the sensation of real-world driving down to the last detail, from braking assistance systems to the positioning of your hands on the steering wheel. You can even disable the HUD if you want to go for absolute realism. The textures of its 180+ car lineup, for example, look superb, while the weather and terrain systems add a level of sophistication. The cult classic rail shooter Rez is now available for VR platforms. Rez is the story of a computer virus on a mission through the network of a system called Project K to save Eden, the system's controlling AI, from self-destruction. On your way to Eden, you must overcome whatever obstacles get in your way, whether they be pesky firewalls or other viruses. Rez Infinite faithfully recreates all 5 original levels of gameplay and adds Area X, a new level that gives players full freedom of movement. Robo Recall is an action-packed gallery shooter designed for use with the Oculus touch controllers. In the midst of a robot uprising, you must take down all the enemy combatants with a variety of weapons as a new member of Robo Ready's Recall department. Defend the city streets and rooftops by clearing infested areas of violent bots. Robo Recall stands out for its slick visual effects and fast-paced action. Ubisoft's Space Junkies is an arcade shooter set against the backdrop of space. In the game, you battle enemies with futuristic weapons inside orbital arenas, which affords you full freedom of movement. You can fight enemies one-on-one, or team up with a friend to take on pairs of combatants. Space Pirate Trainer is an arcade shooter perfectly suited to the VR platform. In the game, your task is to shoot down incoming space enemies using your dual blasters, and other weapons or upgrades you pick along your way to the top of the Space Pirate leaderboard. Keep in mind that you won't get very far without actively engaging with the game. That's right, you have to physically dodge and avoid incoming attacks, in addition to returning fire at droids. Subnautica is an adventure and exploration game set in the near future. After a passenger spaceship crash lands on an ocean planet, your player is left stranded and unreachable due to an ancient alien defense system stationed on the island. Eventually, you receive instructions on how to escape the planet, but before doing so must disable the defense system. In the meantime, you must also maintain your character's health and build tools and infrastructure with the resources from the planet's aquatic environment. As you progress, you'll start to uncover more of the planet's ancient narrative. Superhot is a time-bending and stylish shooter. When you stop moving, so too does the world around you. To complete a level, you need to defeat all of the bright red enemies barreling towards you, who in turn are trying to eliminate you. Players must use their wits, fists, guns, swords, and any other objects to eliminate attackers. Tetris has existed in many forms over the better part of the last 3 decades. Tetris Effect is the latest iteration and perhaps one of the best ever. The game's complementary visuals and sound help propel you forward through the game's 3 modes: Journey, Effects, and Mixed Effects. As you progress, you unlock new effects and stages. Crytek's The Climb is an excellent example of using VR to effectively translate a real-world experience. In The Climb, you scale a series of precarious rock faces. Gameplay reflects actual climbing experiences, especially vertigo, so chart your path to the top carefully and use chalk to help retain your grip as you go along. Ever wanted to revisit Aperture Labs after completing Portal 2? Valve's The Lab returns you to the infamous former shower curtain manufacturer's facility for a series of room-scale VR experiences. No, you don't get to revisit the role of Chell. Instead, you get to explore a so-called pocket universe of aperture science. Some of the experiences include training tutorials, otherworldly endeavors, and interactive games. Skyrim remains one of the most ambitious open-world games, even without VR capabilities. This version of the game adds an extra sense of immersion. Traverse the lands of Skyrim, interact with NPCs, and equip your character with weapons, armor, and spells. Ultimately, you're tasked with defeating Alduin, a so-called world-eating dragon, though you can equally spend your time exploring and completing side missions for townspeople. Even if you've already completed the game on another platform, Skyrim's VR edition should keep you tied over until Elder Scrolls 6 eventually releases. If intellectual puzzle games appeal to you, prepare to sink many enjoyable hours into the Talos Principle VR. In the game, you play as an intelligent anthropomorphic robot tasked with navigating mazes and obstacles across a series of mysterious environments laden with modern technology. Players can also go exploring off the beaten path to unravel some further backstory. As you progress through the narrative, you discover secrets about your world and yourself, all of which factor into a momentous decision. This wacky game from Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, pairs you with the reluctant Trover as you try to rescue your dogs and save the universe in the process. Note that Trover Saves the Universe doesn't stick to one genre, with action, platforming, and puzzle-solving elements all present. Why not trust the creators of Job Simulator to ensure the success of your vacation too? Take a trip to Vacation Island and explore all of the activities that the beach, forest, and mountain environments have to offer. No vacation simulator would be complete without character customizations and a trove of chatty robot companions either. Every Star Wars fan dreams about one day wielding a lightsaber in real life. Until that glorious day, virtual reality offers the next best solution. In this 3-episode series, you, a smuggler, get the chance to explore Darth Vader's fortress and all the perils within. And you'll need to master the lightsaber to survive.